Yeah.
Two easy clicks. For you. Yes. Just free money.
Squarespace.
Squarespace.
NordVPN. Yeah.
Squarespace is
I
expensive.
haven't heard of that one.
I think the
What are some other sponsors? I just know the main one's Dobrik with SeatGeek. Dobrik. Check, check, 1, 2, come on. Yeah, yeah. Yeah in the back. Whoa, whoa. I say Mary, you say Cunningham. Mary.
Cunningham.
Mary had a little. Oh, what's that movie? Bedtime Stories with Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cunningham. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb.
That's what we were asking you.
So I'm just tailoring. I'm asking questions about Sam, his life story, and how he's come to where he's at, and his his future, and that's my approach. Me being a host to him. So
For being the interviewer.
yeah. Testing 1, 2. This is Tim Hofacker and Sam Rizzo.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ivan Bell, and I want to welcome you to the class of 1182 and you. To my right, we have Mr. Tim Hofacker, and to my left, we have Sam Rizzo. They're going to be your hosts for today, and let's get it started, ladies and gentlemen. Here you are, Tim.
Thank you very much, Ivan.
Yes, sir.
Joined here by Sam Rizzo. Sam, how are we doing today so far?
Pretty well. How are you doing? How are you doing for today?
Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in to 1182 and you. Thank you guys for everybody that is watching right now and tuning in live on YouTube. And for right now, we're just gonna introduce Sam, get to know Sam, and Sam, if you could just give the people a background of who you are, where you come from, and how you are, sitting with this conversation with me right now.
So I guess I'll do. I forget how much time we actually have with this, so I'll do a little bit of a quick rundown. I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Grew up around there, raised there. Just did my own thing. Went to high school, went to college as a business student. Wasn't exactly like going well for me. Wasn't like my thing.
Where'd you go to school?
I originally went to Flagler College my freshman year. Then I transferred back home to Virginia. Flagler College is in St. Augustine, Florida, for those who don't know. And then transferred back to Virginia Beach to go to community college, and then Old Dominion for a year. That's in Norfolk, Virginia. And then another background is my dad is in news, so he's been a cameraman all my life. Like, my godfather has been on the camera. Like, he's been a reporter for about 30 years. So I have that background in always being surrounded by cameras, always being surrounded. When I was younger, my sister and I would have to. My mom would work nights at a restaurant, and my dad was working days. So my mom would bring us to the station for 30 or 40 minutes while my dad was getting ready to get off, and we'd just be walking around the station, going into the newsrooms and stuff like that. So it was always pretty cool getting to see the live trucks, sitting in the helicopter before it gets to go off. It was cool. So I've always been interested in filming and stuff like that. So finally I was just I got to figure out something to do. Found Full Sail originally, and we're not going there anymore. Not that.
Did you almost commit by going there? Did you almost sound you didn't commit by going there? Were you originally there and then you obviously transferred to here?
No, I never attended there. It was just a little pricey, out of my range. And then luckily one of my friends who I grew up with, his younger sister attended first last year. So her mom put it on Facebook, and my dad saw it, and then we're like, this is definitely more acceptable. So that's the short story of how I got here.
Right. Okay, so and you were talking about how family background and being in the news. So outside of let's say your dad, who inspires you, and because in this industry and what we do, it's a very lonely man job. It's very self-dependent. So who are some figures in the industry, or just people in your life that you that inspire you and that you really look up to?
I would say going back originally, I still remember the first time I saw Star Wars for the first time. It was just, even to a little kid, those movies came out in the 70s and the 80s, but they were still crazy to me. And now nowadays the movies are even crazier for what they can do. But I would say those original movies, George Lucas was a great one that first wanted to originally be an inspiration. And then beyond that, a lot of the Marvel movies was kind of piqued my interest a lot. So Kevin Feige is a good example of a person who built that. Then Jon Favreau, actually, I like him a lot because he helped revive. He was also a big person in the MCU, and there's a lot of the new Star Wars stuff, Mandalorian, that was him. Okay. So I'd say those two right currently.
Okay. And so now with we're very early in our career, with being here for 9 months and all the knowledge you have, where's your head at, and where's your feel with where you could see yourself placing yourself in the industry?
So when I got here, I wanted to be a director, hopefully making my original content. Still leaning towards that. I enjoyed like I enjoyed making the music video, even though that wasn't like a film or anything, but that was still like it was still my idea. I got to write. We filmed a short film that I wrote. That was awesome. Didn't come out the best, but we're students. It is what it is. We'll always. There's more to come, and then for me, like I know live production is going to be exciting. Obviously, we're doing it right now, and we're already having a blast with it. But I really, after first, like I want to move. Like I have no interest in going back to Virginia Beach and like doing news or anything like that. That's just too boring. Like I want to stay. I want to go to LA. Like I think it would be fun. Like I want to dive into the deep end. I want to see what it's like. It's going to be hard work. Going to have to work 2 or 3 jobs at some points, but I know it'll be worth it in the end.
Yeah. That's a deep response. One thing I would ask, let's say there's there's people that are tuning in, this big audience that we have tuning in right now. Let's say there's kids that all of us were put in a position to not do the regular route and go to college, and well, I don't know if some people have graduated from school, but to take that bet and take that chance on yourself, to go ahead and put yourself first and do something like this, hence the name of the school. So for anybody, would you give any advice that people that they need to make that decision, or they're afraid to do that and take that chance for themselves, because it's something that both sitting here, we're both really passionate about, and so we only have so much time, we only have so much fire. So anybody that has that fire and has that, what could you tell to them, like, to go ahead and go through with that and put themselves first?
So you're basically talking about people like who are seniors in high school right now, type of thing. Yeah. So like especially from like my experience, like growing up, I was always told like college. Like you have to, in order to be successful, you need a degree, like And I mean, it is a very good thing to have. I'm not like putting that down by any means, but obviously college isn't for everybody, So I would say if you want to if it's definitely like your passion and you're already like doing stuff on your own, like you were doing, like for example, you're doing YouTube, and like Ray was streaming, like y'all had a small background already. You just came here to help refine your skills in order to like push that further. Right. But for someone like me, like I edited sometimes with my dad, like I knew the very basics of Premiere. So like I was coming here pretty blind, and I've already learned so much, and it's been such a huge help. So to someone like who is looking at, say, going to a college versus going to like a technical school, like if it's what you want to do and if it's your passion, like definitely go for it. Like look at Alexis. She was 17 when she started here. Like she's already grown so much and she's learned so much. Like clearly it helps. And for her, like she might be making a little bit more money than people her age right out of this, because she has that little boost, that little edge.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I don't know what I was, while you were talking, I was trying to think of something else. Trying to be a good host. Let's say Sam Rizzo, the great and almighty. What you said you want to move to LA, and with a lot of that, like we were talking about, it's a very self-dependent thing. And are you nervous at all, or like what are some things that is in your head like right now before, like, because graduation is in 2 months from now, so where's your head at with what are some things that that you need to keep yourself in check in order to strive and like in order to succeed if you go out there? So like what are some of the things that Sam needs to be sure about and like keeps telling himself?
So basically, the one really annoying thing about like looking for jobs out there, especially because like we have 2 more months left of school, like I don't want to exactly start applying for anything yet, because everything's starting within those 2 months. Like there's nothing like posted for like 3 or 4 months out. Like there might be some stuff, but it's like who knows if they like are gonna be locked up by then, Yeah. So it's like it's hard to just by judging that. And then also like I know it's gonna be tough work. It's gonna be like hard work, sleepless nights. Like I know, like when I moved down, my background is I worked in restaurants since I was like 15. Like my mom put me to work bussing tables. Like I've done basically everything. I've bussed, I've hosted, I've served, I've bartended, I've done everything except manage. So like I know how to work hard, and I know if I move out there, I'm probably gonna have to get another like serving job out there just in order to help pay the bills.
And that makes you comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah, especially with restaurants, like it's tough. Like people can be the worst sometimes. But just so I know like that might be part of the struggle. But luckily I have a friend from back home who I might be moving out with, and luckily we'll be able to get a 2-bedroom, so that'll definitely help split cost of stuff. Then just really once I get out there, just probably just taking like grip jobs and stuff like that at first, just at like some production companies and like on productions in order to just get my name in there, get my name in the world. And then meanwhile, while I'm doing that, working on writing my own stuff and still focusing to make sure I'm getting my own, like, because I want to be able to prove myself to everyone there. Yeah. So, I mean, while I'm helping out other projects, obviously you got to work on my own stuff to get it out there.
Yeah. I think even when I decided to I originally went to UCF, so the drive is just 30 minutes more. But even before I was coming to college, I had to have like that self-talk. Okay, Tim, what are some things that you need to make sure? And the number one thing is like don't get distracted. Like making sure everybody, in order to like flourish and in order to like nurture like what you want to do, directing, and making sure that your scripts are on 10, and making sure that everything, your vision is still going on, but in order to do that, like money has to be involved. So like you were saying, so restauranting and doing side jobs, I would say I think the hardest thing is like distraction and making sure that you still keep that same vision. And then also like the main thing is like once you sometimes when you tell people things, it gets ruined. So, you don't want to, have it be saturated. And by telling people what you want, you gotta work for what you want. And so I believe in you. So yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. So I don't really have any more questions. So if there's, I'm gonna flip it to you, so you can be the host. So if there's anything that you want to talk to me about, I'm tired of holding this. So.
Well, we'll just flip the script on you now. Maybe ask you about the same thing. So, give us a little background about you, just a quick bio, why you came down there first, and what you were doing beforehand.
Okay. So, I was born in New Jersey, a small town in New Jersey. Lived there until I was 13. Moved in 2013. Then moved to not a small town, Jacksonville, Florida, town called Ponte Vedra Beach, and 2 miles away from the beach, and moved there, and I've been there ever since before I left to college. And I went to I'm 19, so almost a year ago I went to UCF's Feeder Community College. I was there for I was finishing up while in high school one semester, and then after that I then did one in person, and I absolutely dreaded it, hated it. I'm a creative guy, very touchy, hands-on, and so I hated it. And so I just sat down with my parents. I was like, hey, I can't do this. And so originally, YouTube is great, and back then, like before coming to First, and I did like YouTube vlogs in high school because of COVID. Like I played 4 years of basketball, but I couldn't play my senior year because I was afraid of getting it. And in light of it now, COVID is so normal. But, I was just in the heat of it. Yeah. And so that was when I decided to do YouTube. And so then after that, I just continued to post, graduated high school, came into college, still keeping it up. And I just I committed to myself. I was like, YouTube is going to make me enough money, and that's going to be my full-time job. And now looking back on it, 4 years into the process, I am just now getting paid, and getting paid is not even nearly enough to pay for groceries for a week. So Yeah, and so then we literally looked up on Google like, okay, well, what are film schools in Orlando? Came to First, and I knew I've always been editing. Like has always been. I took classes in high school. Our test grades were filming, going out filming sports, and then coming back into the classroom. So I fell in love with that. Like, okay, I'd rather that than having to study for a test. Like this comes natural to me, and especially like the editing side. And obviously, I'm good with cameras. I can go into any crowd of heavy people, and I could whip a camera, and I could just be like locked in. So, because I've just been doing it for so long. And so then I've been at First, and I'm still, I would say I've ramped up like the production of my channel even more, but I've been very open to understanding like how to make money in this industry because my intentions were coming here. I want to know how to make money with this because I've been doing this for so long, and I need to understand how I can really figure it out.
Would you say the overall like quality of your YouTube videos has like gone up since becoming here?
Yes, 100%. I would, for one tip is especially on, obviously like the context and like what is being shown in a YouTube video, 100% obviously makes sense. But since being here and since with the whole editing process and like, doing short films and documentaries, if anything, your sound design and like audio is far more important because that's what's registering to, because nobody really wants to be thinking about everybody. Just like, it's just like no different than scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on TikTok. It's just like, you want to take it for what it is. You take what the video is, and it's just like, it's a whole psychology thing. Like they don't really want to have to put too much thought, even for like, like a movie, like they just want to enjoy it and not have to put too much thought. So like audio, there's certain things that you need to put in your video that triggers to the brain of like, wow, that was pretty cool. And if you do that enough and you do consistently videos every time, that's how you reel in, and like, that's how you tell people, how you get people to subscribe. And so I don't know, I think ever since me starting, I haven't really been like a numbers guy. Like I don't really pay too much to the subscribers. Like 4,000 is cool. All the numbers is cool, but I think about how there's actual people on the other side of the screen. And if I'm thinking the business side of those 4,000, how many of them are willing to buy a product of mine? Or like how many of them are really, can I say like, yes, I am a supporter and like I support anything I need to help you with, like they are full-fledged, like yes. So
just making your YouTube subscribers more of like a community versus just viewers.
Exactly. Because a couple of weeks ago, I went to a convention called Playlist Live, and it was a couple of years ago, like when the heat of Logan Paul and all the David Dobrik, like it was meant for YouTube. And things have changed, and now it's strictly TikTokers propping up a phone and dancing. So the culture is completely different, and TikTok, like that is the #1 platform. And so now it's just like, I think of it as, it's no different than going on Netflix. Like YouTube, it's like you go and you know exactly what you're looking for. Like you know exactly who you want to watch. And sometimes, the importance of like a thumbnail is like, they show you like let's say on the homepage, like a video, and whatever one is appealing to you, you click and you watch. So that's why thumbnails are important. But TikTok, they just throw it right at you. You take it for what it is, and if you don't like it, you just swipe. But YouTube, it's like, it's a different science, and that's why I think a lot of like the CEOs of the like people that run social media, like they just are banking on YouTube because YouTube is community based and it's far more reliant than TikTok. And obviously, yeah.
So obviously you're a younger content creator. You haven't been on like, there's people who have been on YouTube since 2005, obviously. Yeah. So, but when you started, like TikTok was definitely on the beginning. Like it was small, yeah. Right? But then like really like launched during that like COVID. Yeah. Would you say that has affected YouTube, like viewership wise or anything like that? Like, or like the quality of stuff on YouTube, would you say it's more made for TikTok and then just put on YouTube secondary? Would you say that's affecting anything?
I would say I don't think it's affected. I think obviously it probably has. It's taken a hit. I think it's just affected. Excuse me. I think it's just affected like people. Like now, people have the intent. It's just the attention span of like ferrets. Like people is just if you are not impressing me, and if you don't like really explain, because like it's different now. Like YouTube videos, back then, like 2016, you could do a slow-mo video of like 1,000 water balloons falling. That would get 64 million views. But now you just have to exaggerate everything. Like today, I'm dropping 1,000 water balloons while I'm on fire on the Empire State Building, and that will get 2 million views. Like that is insane. How in such a short period of time, like how the metric and like the scale of things have just been so hard to like, and you really like as somebody that's in it, like you really have to be on top of like trends and understand like, I mean really all it is just like human psychology and like really how do you like get to people's head and like how do you convince them, because you know it's the first like thumbnail matters, the first like 2 seconds. If you don't impress them, they're gone, and that's money that you're missing out on, and whether you like it or not. And like there's some people that they make like they've been doing the same content and they only make the content that and make the videos that make them the most money. They've been hating and don't like doing it like for the past 4 years. They absolutely despise it. They hate it and it kills them. But that's how, you know, they provide for their families and stuff, and that's how they have brand sponsorships. And it's totally not the persona and who they are like in real life. So what were you?
Would you say, how do I phrase this? Would the people who like, who said they're making YouTube videos that they don't want to be making and stuff like that, like, would you, is there stuff that you want to be making that you just can't be making right now just because it's not trending or anything like that? Like, is that like does that like annoy you that it's just like you can't make exactly what you want to make?
Yeah, I think yes. That's a great question. Yes, 100%. Because, yeah, I don't think it would be trending. It's just like, you know, I don't have the reliability, or like I don't have the credit yet in the audience. So, and that obviously, like if I were to do something that I truly, because I feel whenever there's videos that I do, like I going out and filming, I have a blast every time. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. But I feel the drag and the tug and the pull on certain videos. I'm like, why is this? This should have been a easy 8-minute video, but it's taking me 16 hours to edit. Like why? And it's just, that just goes to show like I don't enjoy watching it. And the sad thing is like I filmed it, it's already done. And I'm a firm believer in the longer, Jay-Z has this quote where it's like, the longer you hold on to like a song or the longer you hold on to art, it loses its value. So like overthinking, perfectionism in the video, you just got to take it and you just got to put it out. And then, you know, from there you can't do anything because that's for the public to then decide. So, yeah, like I wish there's some videos and there's some things like I wish I could do, but it's just, you know, back to saying like I don't have the audience yet. And so I have to, you know, do these certain type of videos to attract people in. And then if years down the line they stick around, then I can dibble dabble and I can adjust and like, okay, well, what, now that I have this clump of people, what do I really want? And like also keep in the back of my head, like what is also best for us? Because like if you don't put your community first, sometimes like you'll take a hit and you lose money. And so it's a constant battle, and it's a constant thing to think about. So yeah, but to answer, yes, since being at first, it has drastically, like I've had so much improvement, and all the information that I'm intaking, like obviously, if I will not mind like being a grip or being a camera operator, like I'm open to being all of that, because that's what brings revenue and that's what that's like the industry standard. But any piece of like information, I always try and tailor it to how can I nurture my YouTube and like how can I apply this to, you know, what I want. Like you were saying, like everything that you're gonna be learning when you're out in LA, how can I bring this back? Or just not even though you're a grip, just like looking over the shoulder of a director, or like just being in a product of your environment and just soaking it in and saying, okay, he does that really well, and whenever he does this direction, people move this way, and then you just take mental notes. And so, that's the real reason. Back to like what our class is like, we just have to be guinea pigs, and we have to, trial and error, and that's the fun game of life. Life is the only game that we'll play. So, and it's the longest game too. So, yeah.
I think I got one final question for you, then maybe we can wrap this up kind of soon. Yeah. All right, after first, you got 2 more months left. What is next for Tim Hofacker? Where's the next? We stay in Orlando? We move in? The world wants to know.
I don't even know what I'm doing after class today. So I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. Well, what I do know is I'm not gonna be here. Yeah, not gonna be outside. But I don't know. I am right now really living in the moment and being present right now, and just intaking and slowing down these next 2 months, because after this, like, I don't see myself going to college. So this is like my last form of education outside of just like learning from other people. So I still have another, my lease doesn't end for my apartment until August. So, the real answer is I want to be video editing. I think video editing a YouTube video is a different beast. So I think I can like come back down to earth and like edit anything, whatever a company needs. They send me the stuff. I get a certain check per hour, and freelance, or even getting benefits from a company, and like really working 8 hours a day and really doing that. Because YouTube takes a lot of time, but there's no excuse for me to work 20 hours to manage somebody's social media or something. So yeah, either freelance or really being under a company and editing. Video editing is something I want to be firm on, and mostly I would like to be remote, because I think by me like physically going into an office and sitting and editing, like I could do that in the comfort of my bedroom and have my Mac propped up, and I'll get paid more than well an hour. So and I think video editing is like a hot market. A lot of companies are looking for that, especially in light of the internet and how everything is ramping up, and that's how call to actions for companies work. So yeah, that's my plan. But right now I'm trying to hone in and be present with everybody here and all the instructors that are continuing to be great and doing a great job. So yeah, you want to end it? Do we want to end that?
I think we're going to pass the mic off to our host, Ivan, again. He'll close us out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like you heard it from my friends Samuel Rizzo, and over here we have Timothy Hofacker. Okay. And it looks like you guys heard it here from them, and it sounds like they have very ambitious plans going forward. And I hope to see more from you two gentlemen in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it for 1182 NU. We hope to see you guys next time.